Hello everyone. Welcome back to DreamWave English. I'm Sophia, your host for today. Have you ever wondered why some people can speak English naturally, effortlessly, almost as if the words simply flow out of their mouths without hesitation? What if I told you that the secret is not talent, not living abroad, and not spending years memorizing complicated grammar books? What if the real secret is mastering a powerful set of sentences that your brain can instantly use in any real-life situation? Today, on DreamWave English, you are about to unlock the first part of a transformative journey. And trust me, once you hear these sentences and practice them with me, something inside your English will shift forever. Before we dive in, I want you to imagine a moment. Someone asks you a question in English. In the past, you might have frozen for a second, searching for the right words, trying to organize your thoughts, feeling that uncomfortable pause. But after learning today's sentences, your mind will respond automatically. You will speak with confidence, clarity, and natural rhythm. No more guessing, no more fear, no more awkward silence. Just smooth, fluent English that feels like it belongs to you. This video is part 1 of our series, and by the end of it, you will have already absorbed a powerful foundation of sentences you can use immediately. These are not random phrases. They are carefully selected patterns used every day by native English speakers in real conversations. As a longtime English instructor in the United States and a creator of multiple best-selling English learning books, I have refined these sentences over thousands of hours of teaching students from more than 40 different countries. I know what works, what sticks, and what transforms a hesitant speaker into a confident communicator. And today, you will begin experiencing that transformation yourself. Now, let's begin with something essential: flow. Many learners believe that fluency is about speaking fast. That is not true. Fluency is the ability to speak smoothly, clearly, and without struggling to find your words. Fluency happens when your brain already has ready-to-use sentence structures stored inside it. Think of it as building a library in your mind. The more useful sentences it contains, the easier it becomes to pick one instantly when you need it. The sentences in this video were chosen because they teach you rhythm, structure, and confidence at the same time. As you listen, do not just repeat the words. Feel the structure. Notice how each sentence allows you to express an idea naturally. We will move through a range of daily situations, so your brain can adapt quickly. These are sentences you can use at work, at school, while traveling, and in personal conversations. They are universal, timeless, and incredibly effective. Before we start the actual training, I want to prepare your mindset. I want you to treat this as a speaking workout. Imagine that every sentence is a weight you lift. With each repetition, your English muscles grow stronger. You become more flexible, more confident, more fluent. And like any good workout, you do not rush. You focus, you listen, you repeat with intention. If you want to see true results, follow along with your full energy. Speak out loud if you can. Whisper if you need to. But do not stay silent. This video is designed to activate your speaking ability, not just your listening. Now let me share something important. Over the years, I have seen students who barely spoke a word of English transform into confident speakers within weeks, simply by mastering patterns like the ones you will learn today. They did not memorize endless vocabulary lists. They did not stress over grammar rules. Instead, they learn powerful, everyday sentences and train their mouths and minds to use them automatically. When you train with these sentences, your fluency improves naturally, not because you are forcing yourself, but because your brain finally has the tools it needs. So, here is how the journey will work. In each part of this series, I will guide you through a large group of powerful sentences. You will hear them, you will feel them, and you will repeat them. Each part builds on the previous one. By the time you reach the end of all 10 parts, you will have internalized 1,300 highly effective English sentences. And at that point, conversations will no longer feel like a challenge. They will feel like a natural part of who you are. But do not worry about memorizing everything right now. Think of this video as planting seeds. The more you hear and repeat, the more these seeds grow inside your mind. Consistency is the key to fluency. The goal of today is to expose your brain to a large number of natural structures and allow these structures to become familiar. The more familiar something is, the easier it becomes to use. Before we begin practicing, I want you to clear your mind for a moment. Let go of the idea that English is hard. Let go of the idea that fluency is something only other people can achieve. Right now, in this moment, I want you to believe that improvement is possible for you. Because it is. You are here, you are listening, and you are ready. That is all you need. Take a deep breath, focus, and remember, this is not just a video. This is training. This is transformation. This is the beginning of a new level in your English speaking journey. Now, let us begin with the first set of sentences. Before we continue with the next set of powerful sentences, I want you to settle into the rhythm of this training. Think of this experience as a long, continuous journey, where each section strengthens your confidence a little more. In part 1, we prepared your mindset and set the foundation for fluency by helping you understand why these sentences matter. Now, in part 2, we begin shaping your instinctive responses in English. This part will guide you deeper into the patterns native speakers use every day, and as you repeat them, you will start noticing how natural they feel on your tongue, how smoothly they move through your mind. Fluency begins with familiarity. When a sentence becomes familiar, it becomes effortless. So the more you expose yourself to these structures, the easier it becomes to speak without hesitation. Many learners believe they must memorize dozens of grammar rules to speak well, but grammar alone does not create fluency. What creates fluency is repetition of natural language. It is training your mind to recognize and use patterns that reflect real communication. And that is exactly what we are doing here on DreamWave English. Let us ease into today's first category, sentences for expressing your thoughts clearly and confidently. These sentences are not long or complicated. They are practical, flexible, and highly common. They allow you to express your opinions smoothly and politely, just like native speakers do in everyday conversations. As you repeat them, pay close attention to the rhythm. Feel how each sentence flows. Imagine yourself using them at work, in class, during a meeting, or in a simple conversation with a friend. These sentences are essential because they teach you something powerful: how to start speaking without hesitation. Many learners freeze at the beginning of a sentence. They know what they want to say, but they struggle to start. These patterns remove that barrier. They are the fuel that gets your speech moving. Once you start speaking, finishing your thought becomes much easier. Before we move into the next category, I want you to reflect for a moment. Think about the last time you hesitated while speaking English. What caused it? Was it fear of making a mistake? Was it not knowing the right words? Or was it simply not knowing how to begin your sentence? Whatever the reason was, I want you to know something. Hesitation is normal, but it is not permanent. With training, your hesitation becomes confidence, your uncertainty becomes clarity, and your pauses become natural rhythm. Today's practice is another step toward that transformation. Now let us explore a deeper layer of fluency. Sentences for making decisions, giving reasons, and explaining your choices. These are extremely valuable because communication is not just about stating facts. It is about explaining yourself, showing your perspective, and guiding the listener to understand your thoughts. When you give reasons clearly, your English feels more mature, more advanced, and more professional. As you repeat these next sets of sentences, imagine yourself using them in real-life situations. You might need them in a meeting, when someone asks for your opinion. You might need them when someone wants to understand your point of view. You might even need them during daily life, when you simply want to explain why you feel a certain way. These sentences will train your brain to respond naturally and logically. Now let us shift into another important area of fluency: sentences for managing everyday conversations. These are the sentences native speakers use constantly. They are the glue that holds conversations together, the soft connectors that make dialogue feel smooth and friendly. Fluent speakers do not always speak in long, complex sentences. Instead, they use short, natural phrases to keep the conversation moving. When you master these phrases, your conversations feel effortless, and people naturally enjoy speaking with you. This part of the training is crucial because many learners focus only on long, dramatic sentences, forgetting that real conversations rely on simple, frequent expressions. But fluent communication is not about length. It is about clarity and connection. So as you hear these sentences, imagine yourself in everyday situations. Picture the conversations. Visualize yourself responding naturally, confidently, without searching for words. That is the mindset that will turn these sentences into instinct. Now we will move into another essential skill: expressing feelings, reactions, and responses. Many learners struggle when they need to respond emotionally in English. They know basic adjectives like happy, sad, tired, or excited, but they cannot express the deeper shades of emotion, the subtler reactions that native speakers use effortlessly. That is why this part of the training is extremely important. When you can express feelings clearly, your English becomes richer, more expressive, and more human. Imagine someone tells you surprising news. How would you respond in English? Imagine someone thanks you sincerely. How do you reply in a natural way? Imagine someone asks you about your day. Can you describe your emotions in a way that feels authentic? If the answer is not always yes, do not worry. By repeating these sentences, you will train yourself to express feelings with nuance and confidence. Now, before we transition into the next powerful set of sentences, I want you to pause for a moment and recognize your progress. You are not just watching a video. You are training your fluency. You are building a mental library of structures that will serve you for the rest of your life. Every repetition strengthens your ability. Every sentence brings you closer to the fluent confident speaker you want to become. This is the power of structured practice. This is the power of repetition. This is the power of DreamWave English. Now take a deep breath, focus your attention, and get ready. Because in the next section, we will begin unlocking another layer of fluency that will dramatically improve the way you express yourself. As we continue this journey, I want you to understand something essential. Fluency is not built in a single day, nor is it built through memorizing isolated words. Fluency grows layer by layer, just like you are doing right now. Each sentence you hear and repeat becomes a new thread woven into the fabric of your English. By the time you reach the end of this series, those threads will form a strong, unshakable foundation that allows you to speak confidently, clearly, and naturally. In this part, we will go deeper into the core patterns that shape real-world communication. These are the kinds of sentences that help you respond smoothly without thinking too much. They build the automaticity you need so that when someone speaks to you, your mind reacts instantly and the words come out effortlessly. Before we begin, I want you to imagine a scenario. You are in a conversation, perhaps with someone from work, or a classmate, or even a stranger you just met. They ask you something simple, something direct. In the past, you might have taken a few seconds before answering, searching for the right structure, the correct grammar, the best word. But imagine now that instead of hesitation, a clear sentence immediately appears in your mind, perfectly formed. You speak smoothly, you feel confident, and the conversation continues naturally. This is the transformation we are building, sentence by sentence. Now, let us explore sentences designed for asking questions clearly. Asking questions is a vital part of communication. It shows curiosity, respect, and engagement. But many learners hesitate to ask questions because they are unsure of the structure. That hesitation can make conversations feel one-sided or awkward. That is why mastering question patterns is so important. Once you feel comfortable asking questions, you become an active participant in conversations, not just a listener. As you train with these question patterns, I want you to pay attention to the tone, the rise and fall of the voice, the natural rhythm that native speakers use. Asking questions is not only about grammar, it is also about intonation. When you repeat the sentences, try to feel how the sound moves. Allow your voice to follow the natural flow. With practice, your questions will sound confident and smooth, even when your mind is processing new information. Now let us move into another powerful category: sentences for giving suggestions and offering help. These are incredibly useful because they make your conversations warmer, more supportive, and more natural. Native speakers constantly use these patterns in daily life because they create connection and cooperation. Whether you are recommending something, offering assistance, or giving advice, these sentences help you express yourself politely and effectively. As you repeat them, imagine the situations where you might need them. Picture yourself helping a colleague, assisting a friend, or guiding someone who asks you for input. The more you visualize the scenario, the more deeply your brain absorbs the pattern. This is how you train fluency, not by memorizing words, but by attaching sentences to real-life contexts. Next, we will explore sentences for clarifying information. These are crucial for communication because misunderstandings happen to everyone. even native speakers. What matters is how smoothly you clarify. Many learners fear asking for clarification because they worry about sounding unsure or weak. But the truth is that clarification is a sign of strong communication skills. It shows that you are paying attention and that you care about accuracy. As you train with these sentences, feel how polite, clear, and natural they sound. Imagine using them in a meeting, in a classroom, or during a conversation with someone whose accent is different from yours. These patterns will give you the confidence to speak up without hesitation whenever something is unclear. Now, we move into one of the most powerful parts of communication: expressing your plans, intentions, and goals. These sentences are especially important because they help you speak about your future with confidence and direction. Whether you are talking about your work, your studies, your personal life, or your long-term ambitions, these patterns allow you to express yourself clearly and confidently. As you repeat them, think about your own goals, your own plans, your own dreams. Use the sentences to give shape to your thoughts. When you connect language with personal meaning, the sentences become easier to remember and easier to use. They become part of your identity as an English speaker. Now let us transition into another powerful set of patterns: sentences for managing disagreements respectfully. Many learners avoid disagreements in English because they fear sounding rude or making mistakes. But disagreements are a natural part of communication. They can be polite, professional, and constructive when you use the right language. The sentences in this section will help you express different opinions with confidence, clarity, and respect. As you repeat these patterns, imagine situations where you might need them: a discussion at work, a debate in a class, a conversation with a friend. The more you visualize the moment, the more naturally the sentences will come to you when you actually need them. Now I want you to pause for a moment and notice something. With each part of this training, your fluency grows, your confidence grows, your ability to respond without hesitation grows. Every sentence you repeat becomes a small victory, a small piece of progress added to your growing skill. This is not just learning. This is transformation through repetition, structure, and guided practice. This is how you build true fluency. As we prepare to move into the next phase, I want you to take a breath and feel your progress. You are no longer someone who simply studies English. You are someone who practices English, someone who builds fluency step by step, someone committed to growth. In the next part, we will go even deeper, exploring sentences that help you handle complex situations smoothly and professionally. As we move forward, I want you to recognize how much progress you have already made. By this point in the training, your mind has absorbed dozens of natural English structures. You have begun shaping instinctive responses that make your speech smoother and more confident. In Part 4, we will continue expanding your fluency by guiding you through more complex communication patterns, the kinds that help you navigate real-life situations with ease, clarity, and professionalism. Fluency is not only about speaking, it is about managing situations, expressing yourself in different contexts, and responding appropriately no matter what comes your way. This part focuses on strengthening that flexibility. You are not just learning sentences, you are learning how to handle conversations the way native speakers do, with subtlety, confidence, and emotional awareness. Let us begin with a powerful area of communication: handling unexpected situations. Life often throws us moments we did not plan for. Someone asks you a question you did not expect. A problem appears out of nowhere. You need more time to think. You need clarification. These moments can cause hesitation for English learners. But when you have the right sentences ready in your mind, you stay confident and calm. Imagine yourself in one of those moments. Someone says something surprising, and instead of freezing or panicking, a natural sentence rises instantly in your mind. You respond smoothly, and the conversation continues. That feeling of control and confidence is what we are building here. As you train with these sentences, focus on the calmness they give you. Feel how each pattern provides support and structure. Now let us move into sentences for solving problems and offering solutions. These are essential in both professional and personal situations. Whether you are at work, in school, or dealing with daily life, being able to suggest solutions clearly helps you communicate like a confident, capable English speaker. Many learners struggle to express ideas when problems arise because they do not know how to structure their thoughts. That is why we train these patterns. They show you how to respond with clarity, leadership, and helpfulness. Imagine being in a meeting where someone identifies a challenge. Instead of staying silent, you step in with a clear solution using natural English. Your colleagues understand you. Your voice carries weight. Your confidence grows. This is the power of solution-based language. As you repeat the sentences from this section, imagine each one shaping your voice into someone who speaks with purpose and direction. Now let us explore sentences for expressing uncertainty and caution. These are incredibly important because communication is not always about being sure. Sometimes you need to express doubt politely. Sometimes you need to be careful with your words. Sometimes you simply do not want to make a strong claim. Native speakers do this all the time. They soften their speech to sound thoughtful, respectful, or professional. As you train these sentences, listen closely to the softness of the tone. Feel how these patterns help you speak with diplomacy and subtlety. When you master this skill, people perceive you as more mature, more thoughtful, and more considerate in conversation. Now, we shift into a critical area, sentences for emphasizing your point. Sometimes, you need to make something very clear. You need to highlight what matters most. You need to ensure the listener understands the importance of what you're saying. These sentences strengthen your ability to communicate with impact. They help you express strong opinions without sounding aggressive. They give your speech power, clarity, and structure. Imagine yourself presenting an idea, and you want the listener to pay attention. Instead of searching for words, you use a strong, well-structured sentence that captures your message perfectly. Fluency is not only about speaking smoothly, it is about speaking effectively. These sentences help you achieve that. Now let us move into one of the most practical categories, sentences for transitioning between ideas. If you want your English to sound natural and professional, you must know how to connect your thoughts smoothly. Native speakers use transition phrases constantly. They signal a change in topic, add more information, or guide the conversation forward. Without these patterns, speech can sound choppy or disconnected. With them, your English flows beautifully. As you repeat these transitions, imagine yourself speaking in a long conversation, a presentation, or even an interview. Picture how each sentence helps the listener follow your thoughts. This skill is vital for sounding fluent and coherent, especially when speaking for extended periods. Now, let us explore another powerful category: sentences for managing emotions in conversation. Communication is not only about words and ideas. It is also about emotional intelligence. How you respond emotionally shapes the tone of the conversation. Whether you are excited, disappointed, confused, or grateful, expressing your emotions clearly helps you build deeper, more meaningful interactions. In this section, the sentences will help you express your feelings in a natural, balanced way. As you repeat them, imagine yourself in real situations where emotions matter. Picture yourself responding with calmness, clarity, and authenticity. This is how you become not just fluent, but expressive. We will now transition into another valuable skill: confirming details and checking understanding. These patterns are essential in both daily conversations and professional interactions. Misunderstandings can happen easily, especially when accents, speed, or background noise interfere. But when you know how to confirm details politely, you avoid confusion and maintain smooth communication. As you repeat the following sentences, imagine yourself in a conversation where you want to ensure everything is correct. These patterns help you sound careful, precise, and responsible. Now, before we close this part, I want you to reflect on something important. You are not only learning sentences, you are building habits, you are developing instincts, you are training your mind to respond automatically in English, just as naturally as you would in your own language. This is a remarkable achievement, and you should feel proud of yourself. Fluency grows through consistent practice, and you are showing that consistency right now. You are proving that you are committed to becoming a confident English speaker, and with every part of this series, you are moving closer to that goal. In the next part, we will continue building your fluency with sentences that help you tell stories, share experiences, and describe events with clarity and detail. This is one of the most important skills for becoming a truly advanced speaker. In this part of your fluency training, we begin unlocking one of the most powerful skills any English learner can develop: the ability to tell stories, describe experiences, and paint clear pictures with words. Storytelling is at the heart of communication. Whether you are talking to a friend, answering a job interview question, explaining something that happened at work, or simply sharing a personal memory, storytelling shows who you are. It gives life to your voice. It connects you to the listener. And it is one of the strongest signals of true fluency. Many learners struggle with storytelling because they are unsure how to structure their thoughts. They may know vocabulary, but they cannot connect the ideas smoothly. They worry about grammar. They fear losing their train of thought. But the truth is that storytelling becomes effortless once you master certain sentence patterns. These patterns act like a roadmap. They guide your story from beginning to end, making your speech clear, engaging, and easy to follow. In this part, you will learn the kinds of sentences native speakers use to describe events naturally. These sentences help you express what happened, when it happened, how it happened, and why it mattered. As you practice them, imagine yourself telling a story from your own life. Picture the moment, see the scene, feel the emotions, connect the language to something real. This is how your brain internalizes the patterns deeply. Let us begin with a fundamental layer of storytelling: setting the scene. Before you tell people what happened, you first guide them into the moment. You let them feel where you were, who was with you, and what the situation looked like. Setting the scene helps the listener understand your story more clearly and stay engaged from the beginning. As you repeat these patterns, imagine yourself opening a story in a natural conversation. Visualize the place, feel the atmosphere. The more details your mind connects to the patterns, the easier it will be to use them later. Now we move into one of the most essential storytelling skills, describing actions clearly. When you tell a story, the listener needs to understand what happened step by step. Native speakers often rely on simple, clear structures that move the story forward smoothly. These patterns give your story direction. They allow you to take the listener from one moment to the next without confusion. As you train with these sentences, imagine yourself walking through the events. See each step in your mind. Picture the movement, the sequence, the cause and effect. This visualization helps your mind build strong language connections that will stay with you long after the practice ends. Next, let us explore sentences for expressing reactions and emotions during a story. When something happens, you feel something, you react. And those emotions are part of what makes your story meaningful. Native speakers naturally include emotional details in their storytelling. Because emotions make the story relatable, they draw the listener in. As you repeat the emotional expressions in this section, imagine how you would react in real situations. Feel the surprise, the excitement, the frustration, the confusion, or the relief. Real emotion helps you create real language. Now we transition to sentences that help you explain the significance of the event. In a good story, you do not only describe what happened, you show why it mattered. You explain what you learned, how it changed you, or why it was memorable. These patterns elevate your storytelling to a more advanced, expressive level. They help the listener feel the deeper meaning behind your words. As you train with these sentences, think of moments in your own life that taught you something important or left a strong impression. Attach the language to those memories. That connection will make the patterns easier to use in future conversations. Now let us move into a special type of storytelling skill, describing unexpected events, surprises, mistakes, sudden changes, and unpredictable moments. Create some of the most engaging stories, but they can also be difficult to describe, especially if you feel nervous about speaking English. That is why these patterns are so valuable. They help you express surprises, misunderstandings, and sudden developments with clarity and confidence. As you repeat these sentences, imagine a surprising moment from your own experiences. Use the patterns to describe that shift. Feel the structure guiding you through the story. Next, we explore sentences for expanding your story naturally. Sometimes, while telling a story, you need to add more details, clarify something, or provide extra context. These expansion sentences act like connectors. They help you add layers to your story without losing flow or clarity. As you practice these, imagine that someone is listening to your story and wants more detail. See how these connectors make your storytelling richer and more engaging. Now we move into another vital storytelling skill, describing conclusions and results. Every story eventually moves toward an ending. The listener wants to know how everything turned out. Was the problem solved? Did you achieve your goal? Did something change because of what happened? These patterns help you bring your story to a satisfying close while maintaining clear, natural English. As you repeat them, Imagine closing a story in a meaningful way. Feel how the language reflects a sense of resolution. Before we close part 5, I want you to take a moment to reflect on the importance of what you are learning. Storytelling is one of the clearest indicators of advanced English proficiency. When you can describe your experiences naturally and confidently, people immediately notice your fluency. They understand your personality more clearly. They connect with you on a deeper level, and your English becomes not just functional, but expressive and engaging. You are training yourself to speak in a way that is natural, human, and confident. You are learning to share your experiences with clarity and power. And with each part, you are becoming more fluent, more expressive, and more capable in English. In the next part, we will go even deeper, exploring sentences that help you handle social interactions, networking, and real conversations with ease. As we enter part 6 of this fluency journey, I want you to recognize something important. The deeper we go, the more your communication becomes natural, social, interactive, and emotionally intelligent. Fluency is not only about speaking correctly, it is about connecting with people. It is about navigating conversations smoothly, building relationships, making a strong impression, and expressing yourself with confidence in any social setting. In this part, we focus on real conversation skills, sentences that help you interact with others in a natural, friendly, and confident way. These are the patterns native speakers use constantly when meeting people, networking, forming new friendships, building trust, maintaining conversations, and leaving a positive impression. When you master these patterns, your English becomes not just fluent, but socially fluent. Let us start with one of the most important skills, making introductions. Introductions are often the first step in forming a connection. Whether you are meeting someone in a professional environment, in a social setting, or in a casual moment, the way you introduce yourself can shape the entire interaction. Native speakers use simple, relaxed phrases that show confidence and openness. As you repeat these sentences, imagine yourself shaking hands with someone new, making eye contact, and speaking clearly. Next, we move into sentences for asking about others. People enjoy talking about themselves, and showing genuine interest is one of the easiest ways to build rapport. Asking questions is not just about information, it is about connection. These patterns help you sound friendly, curious, and engaged. As you practice them, imagine yourself in a conversation where you want to get to know someone better. Feel how natural the questions sound. Notice how they make the other person feel comfortable. Now let us explore one of the most powerful conversation skills, responding actively. When someone speaks to you, your response shows whether you are truly listening. Fluent speakers use small, simple phrases to show interest, agreement, understanding, or curiosity. These responses are incredibly common in natural conversation, yet many learners overlook them. Without them, you may sound silent or distant. With them, your conversations become warm, smooth, and collaborative. As you repeat these active response patterns, imagine yourself nodding, reacting, and keeping the flow of conversation alive. These small expressions are the heartbeat of real dialogue. Now we transition into a deeper conversation skill, sharing your own experiences in a concise and natural way. Earlier in part 5, we focused on storytelling. Now we refine that ability for quick, everyday conversations. Sometimes people are not asking for a long story. They just want a short, natural response. These sentences help you express your experiences without overthinking or hesitating. As you repeat them, imagine yourself in quick exchanges, at work, at school, at a cafe, or on a video call. Now let us explore sentences for politely changing the topic. This is a subtle but extremely useful skill in social situations. Native speakers often shift conversations gently when they want to focus on something else. Learning these patterns helps you navigate discussions smoothly without sounding abrupt or rude. As you practice them, imagine yourself guiding the conversation in a new direction with confidence and ease. Next, we focus on one of the most valuable social skills: giving compliments. Compliments strengthen relationships, create positive energy, and build trust. But many learners struggle with giving compliments because they are unsure of the right tone or structure. These sentences will help you express admiration naturally, sincerely, and confidently. As you repeat them, imagine giving kind, friendly compliments that make others feel appreciated. Feel how natural and warm the language becomes as you internalize these patterns. Now let us move into another essential area: expressing agreement and disagreement politely. Earlier, we explored disagreement in a more formal context. Now, we approach it socially. Agreeing and disagreeing politely is key to maintaining healthy conversations. You want to express your thoughts honestly without sounding rude or confrontational. These patterns help you communicate with clarity and balance. As you repeat them, imagine yourself in discussions with friends or colleagues, sharing opinions with confidence and respect. Next, we explore sentences for closing conversations smoothly. Ending a conversation is just as important as beginning one. Native speakers often use soft, friendly sentences that signal closure without sounding abrupt. Many learners end conversations too suddenly or awkwardly because they lack these natural patterns. With the sentences in this section, you will learn how to close a conversation gracefully, leaving a positive impression every time. As you repeat these closing phrases, imagine yourself finishing a conversation with someone in a warm and confident manner. Now we shift into a skill that is incredibly important in social and professional situations: expressing gratitude. Gratitude builds relationships. It makes conversations kinder, more meaningful, and more respectful. Whether someone gives you advice, helps you with something, or simply spends time talking to you, expressing gratitude in a natural way strengthens the connection. As you repeat these gratitude patterns, imagine yourself thanking someone sincerely. Let the meaning of the words guide your tone. Next, we explore one of the most confidence-boosting communication skills: giving opinions naturally. Many learners feel nervous about expressing opinions because they fear making mistakes or sounding unsure. But native speakers express opinions constantly, using simple, relaxed patterns. When you master these, you will feel more confident sharing your thoughts in any conversation. As you practice these sentences, imagine yourself expressing your ideas clearly, without hesitation or doubt. Now let us move into another essential social skill: asking for clarification in a friendly way. While earlier parts focused on professionalism, this section focuses on everyday situations. Misunderstandings happen, and asking for clarification politely keeps the conversation smooth and positive. As you repeat these patterns, imagine yourself needing someone to repeat something or explain something. Feel how natural the language becomes as you practice. Before we close part 6, pause for a moment and recognize the growth happening inside your mind. You are not just learning English. You are learning how to interact, connect, and build real relationships in English. You are developing emotional fluency, social confidence, and conversational instincts. This is a powerful transformation, and you should be proud of the progress you have made. In the next part, we will continue deepening your fluency with sentences that help you express complex ideas, analyze situations, and speak with greater sophistication and clarity. This is where your English begins to sound truly advanced. As we move deeper into this lesson, I want you to start imagining how each sentence you learn becomes a building block, one that strengthens not only your vocabulary, but also your ability to think, respond, and communicate instantly in English. In this section, we will focus on powerful sentences that help you express thoughts clearly, handle conversations with ease, and present yourself confidently in any situation. These are the kinds of sentences that advanced English speakers use naturally, without hesitation, and today you will begin using them the same way. Let's start with a group of sentences that help you express intentions and decisions with clarity. These are essential when you want to appear confident and decisive. Repeat them aloud after hearing them, and try to imagine the real-life moments where these sentences would fit perfectly. I've made up my mind, and I'm fully committed to this decision. This sentence is strong, clear, and direct. You can use it when you want to show certainty. It removes doubt, and it helps the listener trust your direction. I'll take responsibility for the outcome, no matter what happens. This sentence shows accountability and leadership. When you use it, you sound mature, principled, and confident. I'm willing to put in the effort, even if the process is challenging. This sentence communicates determination. It shows that you are serious about growth and willing to face difficulties head-on. Next, we shift to sentences that help you handle unexpected situations gracefully. These sentences help you react in a calm, thoughtful, and confident manner, skills that advanced English learners need to master. I didn't expect that, but I'm ready to adapt. This sentence shows flexibility and quick thinking. It's powerful because it communicates confidence even in surprise. That's an interesting perspective. I'd like to understand it better. This sentence builds connections and demonstrates emotional intelligence. It helps you continue a conversation without conflict. I appreciate your honesty, and I value this conversation. This sentence is ideal when you want to build trust and create a comfortable atmosphere for communication. Now let's move into sentences designed for problem solving. Sentences that help you navigate challenges and find solutions. These are sentences used in workplaces, classrooms, meetings, and everyday life. Let's break this down into smaller steps so we can solve it more effectively. This sentence shows strategic thinking and leadership. It helps bring clarity to complex situations. I'm confident we can find a solution if we work together. This sentence encourages collaboration and builds motivation in a group. Before we move forward, let's review our options carefully. This sentence signals caution and analytical thinking. It prevents mistakes and shows responsibility. Next, we'll move to sentences that help you express emotions clearly and appropriately. Emotional clarity is essential in advanced English communication because it prevents misunderstandings and strengthens relationships. I'm truly grateful for your support. It means more than you know. This sentence conveys appreciation in a warm and thoughtful way. I need a moment to organize my thoughts before I respond. This sentence prevents impulsive reactions and encourages calm communication. I understand how you feel, and I'm here to help however I can. This sentence shows empathy and support, two qualities that make conversations meaningful and respectful. Now let's focus on sentences that help you express confidence in your abilities. Many learners struggle with expressing self-belief in English, but with the right expressions, you can sound natural and self-assured. I believe in my skills, and I know I can handle this. Use this when you want to express inner strength and certainty. I've prepared well, and I'm ready for the next step. This sentence is perfect for interviews, presentations, or important tasks. I'm improving every day, and the progress is starting to show. This sentence reinforces your growth and helps you stay motivated. Finally, let's practice sentences for guiding conversations smoothly. Being able to lead or manage a conversation is a hallmark of fluent English speakers. Let's focus on the main point so we can move forward clearly. This sentence keeps discussions productive and organized. Before we continue, is there anything you'd like to add? This sentence invites participation and shows respect for others' views. That's a great point. Let's explore it further. This keeps the conversation flowing and encourages deeper discussion. As you absorb these powerful sentences, remember this: fluency isn't just about knowing vocabulary. It's about knowing exactly what to say in the right moment. That's the skill we're building together in this lesson. In the next part, we'll continue strengthening your fluency with more advanced, real-world sentences that will help you sound natural, confident, and expressive in every situation. Let's continue to build your English power, one sentence at a time. In this section, we will explore another set of powerful, real-world English sentences designed to help you sound natural, confident, and instantly fluent in daily conversations. These sentences are used by native speakers in a wide range of situations, and once you start using them, you'll feel a noticeable boost in how smoothly you communicate. As always, imagine yourself speaking these sentences in real scenarios and allow them to become part of your instinctive English responses. Let's begin with sentences that help you express clarity, structure, and logical thinking, skills that advanced English speakers rely on constantly. To make things easier, let me explain this step by step. This sentence shows that you can take control of a situation and guide someone with clarity. Here's what I think is the most important point to focus on. This helps you direct attention and structure your thoughts logically. Let me summarize everything so we're on the same page. This is essential for meetings, discussions, or group tasks, and it demonstrates professionalism and confidence. Next, let's move into sentences that help you express confidence when sharing your opinions. Many learners hesitate when giving opinions in English, but these sentences will help you sound assured and articulate. From my perspective, this approach seems the most effective. This phrase is polite, sophisticated, and confident. Based on what I've seen so far, I believe this is the right direction. This sentence is excellent for workplace conversations or decision-making situations. I respect your viewpoint, but I'd like to offer a different angle. This allows you to disagree politely without sounding confrontational. Now we'll shift to sentences designed for daily social interactions. These help you sound warm, friendly, and naturally fluent when talking with others. It's great to finally meet you. I've heard wonderful things about you. A perfect sentence for introductions, showing warmth and confidence. That sounds exciting. Tell me more about it. This keeps conversations flowing and shows genuine interest. I really appreciate your time today. It means a lot. This is ideal for expressing gratitude in a sincere and professional way. Next, we'll focus on sentences for dealing with mistakes and misunderstandings, one of the most important skills in fluent communication. I may have misunderstood. Could you explain that part again? This sentence helps clarify confusion without feeling embarrassed. Thanks for pointing that out. I'll fix it right away. A professional, mature response to feedback. Let's double-check the details to make sure we're correct. This shows responsibility and prevents future errors. Now let's look at sentences that help you sound more persuasive and influential. These are especially useful in presentations, discussions, and negotiations. If you look at the results, you'll notice the improvement clearly. This sentence confidently guides attention to evidence. I'm confident that this solution will give us the best outcome. Strong, clear, and convincing. Let me explain why this approach makes the most sense. This helps frame your argument logically and persuasively. Next, we will focus on sentences that elevate your emotional intelligence, an essential part of sounding mature, calm, and fluent in English. I completely understand why you feel that way. This sentence builds trust and connection. Let's take a moment to breathe and reset before continuing. Great for tense situations or stressful conversations. I'm here to support you, so let's find a way through this together. Warm, supportive, and emotionally intelligent. Now let's move into sentences that help you express progress, goals, and personal development. Perfect for learners, professionals, and anyone improving themselves. I've made significant progress, and I'm proud of how far I've come. This sentence reinforces confidence and personal growth. My goal is to keep improving every day, even if it's just a little. Powerful, motivating, and realistic. I'm focused, determined, and ready for the next challenge. A bold affirmation that boosts confidence. Finally, let's practice sentences for managing time, priorities, and productivity, areas where fluent English communication is crucial. Let's organize our tasks so we can work more efficiently, clear and practical for teamwork or personal planning. I need to prioritize this task before moving on to the others. Shows responsibility and structure. Before we continue, let's make sure we have everything we need. This helps maintain order and prevent delays. As you absorb these sentences, remember that fluency is built through repetition and real application. Each sentence you practice becomes a powerful tool you can use naturally in conversations, presentations, interviews, and daily interactions. The goal is not just to understand these sentences, but to hear them, repeat them, feel them, and eventually use them without hesitation. In the next part, we will continue expanding your fluency with more advanced expressions, moving you closer to mastering natural, confident English in every situation. Let's keep building your skills step by step, sentence by sentence, until English becomes your strongest communication tool. In this part, we will continue expanding your ability to communicate naturally, confidently, and effortlessly by exploring another set of powerful, real-world English sentences. These sentences are carefully designed to strengthen the way you express ideas, manage conversations, and respond instantly in English. As you listen to them and repeat them, imagine yourself using them in real-life situations. This is how fluent speakers build automatic, natural responses. And now you will too. Let's begin with sentences that help you manage complex conversations. These are essential when you want to express clarity, maintain structure, or gently redirect the discussion. Let's pause for a moment so we can organize our thoughts clearly. This sentence helps slow down the conversation when things become overwhelming or confusing. To avoid any misunderstanding, let me clarify what I meant earlier. This is useful when you need to correct or adjust something you said. I think it would help if we focused on one point at a time. This sentence helps bring order to discussions that are moving too fast or in too many directions. Next, we'll look at sentences that express strong communication skills, sentences that help you deliver ideas confidently and professionally. Here's the main idea I want you to take away from this. A powerful sentence often used by teachers, leaders, and speakers. To put it simply, this is the core message. This sentence makes your communication sound concise and clear. I want to highlight something important before we continue. This shows control of the conversation and emphasizes key information. Now let's move into sentences designed to help you express your needs, preferences, and expectations politely but firmly. I'd prefer if we could discuss this in more detail. A polite, confident way to request deeper understanding. I need a bit more time to think this through before making a decision. A natural way to protect your time and avoid rushed decisions. If possible, I'd like to reconsider that option. Useful when you want to suggest an alternative without sounding demanding. Next, let's focus on sentences that help you express curiosity. One of the most powerful tools for sounding fluent and engaging in English. That's something I've always wondered about. Could you explain it? This shows genuine interest and encourages deeper conversation. I'm curious about how you came to that conclusion. A polite way of asking someone to elaborate on their thinking. That's fascinating. I'd love to learn more about it. A warm and natural response that encourages storytelling. Now we'll explore sentences that help you express boundaries and maintain respectful communication, an important skill for advanced English speakers. I respect your opinion, but I need to stay true to my own perspective. A balanced and polite way of expressing independence. I'm not comfortable with that, and I'd prefer to choose a different approach. This sentence is firm yet respectful. I appreciate your suggestion, but I'll need some time to think it over. A dignified way of delaying a response without rejecting someone abruptly. Next, we'll shift to sentences that help you express encouragement and support. Great for building relationships and maintaining positive interactions. You're doing an excellent job. Don't underestimate your progress. Warm, uplifting, and supportive. Take your time. There's no need to rush. A sentence that brings calm and reassurance. I'm here to help if you need anything along the way. Simple, comforting, and reliable. Now let's move into sentences that show emotional strength and maturity, essential qualities in fluent communication. I'm learning to handle challenges with patience and confidence. This sentence reflects inner growth and self-awareness. I accept what happened, and I'm ready to move forward. A powerful expression of emotional resilience. I'm proud of myself for staying focused despite the difficulties. An encouraging affirmation that strengthens your mindset. Next, we'll practice sentences that help you discuss future plans and visions clearly. These sentences help you sound ambitious, organized, and forward-thinking. My goal is to create consistent progress, even if it's slow. A sentence that shows commitment and steady growth. I'm working toward a long-term vision, and every step counts. This highlights discipline and purpose. I have a clear direction, and I'm excited about the journey ahead. Positive, motivated, and inspiring. Finally, let's build sentences that help you navigate polite disagreements and express critical thinking. Skills that separate intermediate learners from truly advanced speakers. That's an interesting point, but I see the situation a bit differently. A great sentence for respectful disagreement. I understand your reasoning, but I'd like to challenge that idea. This shows confidence and analytical thinking. Let's explore another possibility and see where it leads us. A cooperative way to introduce new ideas. As you continue practicing these sentences, remember that fluent English isn't about speaking quickly. It's about speaking clearly, confidently, and naturally. Each sentence you learn is a tool that brings you one step closer to effortless communication. In the next part, we will continue strengthening your fluency with more advanced sentence structures to help you speak with clarity, authority, and confidence in every situation. Let's continue building your mastery of English, one sentence at a time. As we enter the final part of this complete fluency training session, we will focus on sentences that help you communicate with absolute clarity, confidence, and emotional intelligence in every situation. These final sentences are designed to elevate your English to a level where your speech sounds natural, polished, and effortless, just like a native speaker. Imagine yourself using these sentences at work, in daily conversations, in interviews, during presentations, or anytime you want to express yourself with precision and power. This final section will bring everything together and help you speak fluently and confidently instantly. Let's begin with sentences that allow you to express strong clarity and decisive thinking, qualities that advanced English speakers rely on constantly. Let me be as clear as possible, so there's no confusion moving forward. This sentence sets a strong, confident tone and eliminates doubt. Here's the exact point I want to emphasize before we continue. This helps you highlight important information with focus. To avoid misunderstanding, I'll explain this in the simplest terms. A powerful sentence that shows clarity and responsibility. Next, let's explore sentences that help you express independence, maturity, and inner confidence. I trust my judgment, and I'm confident in the choice I've made. A strong affirmation that demonstrates self-belief. I've considered all the factors, and this is the direction I want to take. This sentence shows thoughtful decision-making. I'm committed to my goals, and I won't let temporary setbacks stop me. This expresses resilience and determination. Now we'll practice sentences that help you move conversations forward smoothly and professionally. These are especially useful in meetings, interviews, and group discussions. Let's move on to the next point so we can stay on track. This sentence keeps conversations organized and efficient. Before we wrap up, Is there anything we still need to address? A thoughtful and professional way to ensure completeness. Let's review our key takeaways to make sure everything is clear. Perfect for ending discussions confidently. Next, let's learn sentences that help you express self-awareness and constructive reflection, core elements of advanced communication. I've learned a lot from this experience, and I'll use it to improve. This shows maturity and a growth mindset. I realize what I could have done better, and I'm working on it. Honest, responsible, and emotionally intelligent. I'm open to feedback because it helps me become better. A sentence that builds trust and shows professionalism. Now let's move into sentences designed for motivating yourself and others. These are powerful in coaching, teamwork, leadership, and personal development. You're capable of much more than you think. Believe in your potential. Encouraging and empowering. Let's keep going. Every small step counts toward progress. A motivational sentence that builds momentum. We're moving in the right direction, and I can feel the improvement. Positive and focused on growth. Next, we'll explore sentences that help you express deep understanding, empathy, and emotional connection. Skills that elevate your English to a native-like level. I hear what you're saying, and your feelings are completely valid. A deeply empathetic response that strengthens trust. I understand why this matters to you, and I'm here to support you. Warm, thoughtful, and emotionally intelligent. Let's work through this together. You're not alone in this. Comforting and supportive. Now let's focus on sentences that help you build strong, meaningful conversations. Sentences that encourage openness, curiosity, and connection. That's a really interesting idea. What inspired you to think of it? A sentence that deepens conversations and shows genuine interest. I'd love to hear more about your experience with that. Warm, inviting, and natural. What you said made me think. Let's explore that idea further. This invites deeper discussion and collaboration. Next, we'll move into sentences that help you express clarity in future planning, an essential part of sounding thoughtful, prepared, and confident. I have a clear plan, and I'm taking consistent steps toward my goal. Organized and determined. The next phase is important, so I'm preparing carefully. A sentence that shows discipline and foresight. I know exactly what I want to achieve, and I'm committed to the process. Focused, purposeful, and inspiring. Now let's focus on sentences that help you handle difficult situations with strength and composure. I'm staying calm so I can think clearly and make the best decision. A powerful sentence for stressful moments. I'm choosing to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting emotionally. This demonstrates control and emotional maturity. Even when the situation is challenging, I trust my ability to handle it. Steady, confident, and reassuring. Finally, we'll end with sentences that reflect true fluency. Sentences that show mastery, confidence, and natural command of English. I feel more confident every time I speak, and it's becoming natural for me. A sentence that reinforces your progress. I'm able to express myself clearly, and people understand me easily. This reflects the skills you've built throughout this lesson. I'm speaking with confidence, clarity, and fluency, and it feels powerful. This is the mindset of a successful English communicator. As you complete this full series, remember this: fluency is not just about learning sentences. It is about absorbing them, practicing them, and using them until they become a natural part of you. Every sentence you've learned throughout these 10 parts has strengthened your ability to think, respond, and speak like a confident English speaker. Continue practicing, continue listening, continue repeating, and soon, English will flow from you effortlessly, naturally, and powerfully. DreamWave English is here to help you rise higher, speak smarter, and communicate with confidence every single day. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the DreamWave English, and turn on the bell icon so you don't miss future lessons. I'll see you in the next practice. Keep believing in yourself and keep speaking with confidence.